Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Bridgewater Disability Commission meeting on Tuesday, October 28th. Present, myself, Lorraine,
Yep.
Gloria,
Mhm.
Karen, and I have not seen Estelle yet. And we have a guest, Sherry Freyamuth. Did I pronounce that right, Sherry?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh, good. And welcome, Sherry. Nice to have you on here to visit with us today.
Great.
So the meeting was called to order at 2 o'clock. First thing on the agenda is approval of the August meeting minutes. Did everyone get an opportunity to take a look at them,
Yes,
read them?
yes,
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
yes, I will make the motion to approve.
Thank you, Gloria. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you,
Second.
Karen. Is there anyone that's against?
Nice
Uh,
job, David.
I know, Rick.
Nice job.
You know what? It was so long ago. I can't even barely remember doing it, but thank you. So the August meeting minutes were approved. Thank you, everyone.
Mhm.
The next thing on the agenda, I put Sherry front and forward today. And Sherry came to CPC initially with a proposal to explore a new inclusive playground at the Williams Intermediate Legion Field. The following is a letter sent by two Bridgewater moms, Sherry and Elizabeth, to Josh McGraw and the Community Preservation Committee. And I put down on the agenda Sherry and Elizabeth's words. So Sherry, if you'd like to read this, they're your words, and we'll go from there.
Sure.
Do you have the
Yeah, I have it.
agenda?
Yeah, I have it
Okay.
open. I can read it. And my friend Elizabeth O'Brien, she has another meeting conflict. She will try to log in if she's available, but I will debrief if she's not. So we're two Bridgewater moms with children at the Williams Intermediate School. We have seen firsthand how limited recess options are for students in grades 3 through 5. The school currently has no playground. Legion Field is right next door, but its play structure, which is on Route 18, a little bit further from the school, it doesn't appear safe, fenced, or accessible for many children. This is especially difficult for students in special education who don't have a secure space for free play and instead spend recess taking walks or doing structured activities. We'd love to explore the idea of creating an ADA compliant, inclusive playground at Legion Field that the school could use during the day, but the whole community could enjoy outside of school hours. This type of project seems to fit closely with the community preservation plans to rehabilitate existing parks, improve safety and public access, ensure ADA compliance, and enhance space for more recreational opportunities. And thinking about where this could go, we've identified an unused area near the school that doesn't interfere with the football or baseball fields. And so there's a map included in this email that just kind of, I think the biggest challenge in this is really like a feasible space to locate this. And Elizabeth actually was able to get a software to map out that area is roughly, I think, like 4/10 of an acre. It's bigger than I thought. And so that's the unused area. And so we also included a case study link from it's the Deborah L. Levitz playground at the Wilkins School and / Holler and Park in Stoughton. So very similar in that it abuts the school and it's got this kind of long, narrow format. So that they're able to kind of make a long, skinny playground because that's the only space they have available, but it's also adjacent to a park in the town and is used by both the school and the town. So I think it's a good example. It was funded by their CPC in Stoughton and done not too long ago. We would appreciate guidance on what steps we should take next to build support and put together a strong proposal for the town to consider. Our goal is not only to give our kids a safe and welcoming place to play, but also create a lasting resource for all families in Bridgewater.
Nice.
Well, thank you. That sounds good and very important. Also, I just wanted to make a quick comment. Any typos in what you just read were on my behalf, not on Sherry's. I was typing it, and I can see as I went through, I made a few mistakes there. I did have some questions for you, though,
Sure.
Sherry. Now, who owns the property that you're looking to build a playground on?
Well, I reached out to the CPC, and also like my understanding was Gina Gasconi's over the Rex committee also, because my understanding is that it's the town and we would need support from the town. And that's why I was kind of reaching out to them, because I was like, this all hinges on having a permission to build somewhere. And the school does have limited space. It was always a middle school for a number of years, so they didn't need a playground. I don't know. At one point I was told it was an elementary and had a playground. I don't know where. Yeah. And so I have a son in 5th grade, and they play ball, but they often have to get their football or they're not allowed to play football when there's too many fights. And so when my youngest son started, this year in 3rd grade, he's in that, separate special ed class setting. And that's where he takes walks, and there's no fully fenced in area. He likes to just like fully run around because he's very like managed throughout the day. Like he has a lot of support, and this is kind of like his time during the day where he can actually kind of let loose a little bit, and they don't actually have that available, except maybe like in the gym time that they have. So yeah, so I just kind of said, when I scoped it out this summer, I said, where would your brother play? He was like, I don't know, just like we play in the field. His teacher like can't manage the needs of the kids and like that setting. So yeah, so I kind of I thought that space behind the school, it doesn't interfere with any parking lots. It's very close and accessible to the school. It doesn't interfere with any fields, from what I could see, in terms of the baseball and football facilities. So it seemed like it was kind of an out of the way grassy spot that could easily be fenced in and create a small playground.
Right. Well, that sounds nice. What did the CPC, the Community Preservation Committee, I know you reached out to them. Did they respond to you?
No, I was able to get in touch. I ended up reaching out to the superintendent and administrative person at the Rex department, because I wasn't getting any response. So I can't remember her last name. Allison from the Rex department was able to kind of forward along my email, and that must be how you were able to see it, because I had followed up and said I haven't heard from anybody, and was curious, what steps we could take.
Well, it went to Josh McGraw, who's on right now, and then Josh sent it on and forwarded it on to us on the Disability Commission.
Okay.
And then I sent a copy also to Carlton Hunt, who's on the CPC, and he thanked me for including him on it. But that's my only communication with the CPC in regard to this. Just so you know, we were trying to come up with a proposal for the town and working with the CPC for something very similar. There's a beautiful playground in town, Marathon Park.
Yes, playground.
And it's very, very nice. They have a few attractions currently for children with disabilities. However, it's very limited, and the surface over there is wood mulch. So we were looking to have a rubberized surface in regard to that too. So similar, but in a different location. So you and Elizabeth, what were your next steps going to be, or what was your next plan to pursue this?
Well, we really, I feel like it's hard to move forward without a space, because we'd love to kind of know like be able to present to the CPC. Like, we think that this could be done in this budget, and kind of like give an estimate of costs, and then start and like loop in the schools. But I felt like that it's like without kind of a sense of like how the town would want to support this, and if that's like a feasible location, it seems like a stalling point to be putting together a proposal, or like reaching out to companies saying like, we think it could go here, but I don't even, like I think without, so really kind of building support from like the town before, kind of like overtaxing like the school admin with things that like are just probably like not top priority on their
Right.
end. I think they'd support it. So I'd love to be able to say, we already know the town will like be open to using this space. And then I feel like then we could loop in like school admin on like letters of support, like, and I feel like there were, we're kind of looking at the like proposal, I think we can garner that like community support that the proposal requires, but without sort of town support and really a space, I don't
Yeah.
really think we can get much further in the process.
Right. Josh, I have a question for you. Before the Disability Commission was able to even consider getting involved and throwing support, where do you think Sherry should start pursuing locating support for, I guess you're right, the space first? What steps should she take first, Josh?
No, that's a good question. So the process is usually for these CPC projects and just projects in general, such as the work you guys wanted to get done at Marathon Park. So what we want to see is so a recommendation from Disability Commission. I'm just using Marathon Park, for example, going and working with Parks and Rec, and then getting that to CPC to see if it's something that they can fund, because obviously we're having some budget constraints right now. So that's a great route to go right now, is through the CPC, and then getting those letters of support from the school actually, and then we can sign off on it. So it isn't, I don't think you need to get any type of support from us for approval. It's more or less getting the school on board and working with the CPC to make sure that it's something that could be covered under CPC funding. And then we'll work with CPC on getting the application together and then getting that signed off.
So the school is who I should reach out to in terms of permission for the land?
Yes,
behind the
yeah,
school?
that would be just getting their support from it. With that, when we submit the application through CPC, we have to put together letters of support. It goes through CPC for approval, and then once that gets approved, then that goes to town council for the final okay. But with a lot of these projects, what the CPC tends to do is a lot of these intra-town projects is get approval from the town manager, and he just wants to see that we have support from the school, we have support from, for instance, the Disability Commission would be a fantastic support letter for this one, having them on board, and then just that everything is okay through CPC funding. So what will end up happening is we'll probably have the town manager signing off on the application itself. He'll be kind of the unless it's something that Parks and Rec would want to help with. I don't think it would be, because it'd be going through the school. So the town manager would probably be the contact for everything to give to the school. But that way he would sign off on it and then get it over to CPC. They'll approve it and then get it to town council.
Lorraine.
David?
Yes.
Okay, this is how I foresee it happening. I think, thank you, Sherry, for joining our group also. We appreciate it. And I think it sounds like a wonderful, wonderful idea. But obviously the first step is to find out the land. Nothing will move forward without the land. And that being feasible and the permission and all of that. My own personal opinion, and you guys can weigh in also, I think we need to find out first if that is a feasible thing as far as the land. Then once we know that, with us being a disabilities commission, then we can start weighing in. Obviously, we're going to be in full support of it, but I think it needs to, you need to see if this is something that can even move forward, if that is even you need the spacing, you need the land, the permit, whatever. That's just my thought, rather than going through, which we're fully supportive and we would love to do that, but maybe see where it first initially goes. That's just my thought on that. I don't know what other members feel.
Well, I think that's a great thought. Does anyone else have a thought or suggestion? I see Karen.
Well, when you talk about the land, I'm trying to envision where it is, because I know when you go right behind the school, you're right into the T-ball fields, there's bleachers. Where are you talking about what land is available? Because you go into the baseball fields. Where is the space?
Trying to see if I can put this like image in the chat.
You can share your screen if you'd like.
Okay, I'll do that. Let's see. So this was the image I had posted. Can you see it? Is it big enough?
Right, so you're taking the parking lot area.
It's, well, no, because this is all grass and like a
Oh,
few
okay,
boulders. And so it's like if you're coming through the
Okay.
parking lot where the buses come and there's
way
basketball,
down.
you're going all the way behind the school. So it's like,
Okay,
if you're familiar with like, it's like the gym is like the last
Mhm.
thing. There's like nothing behind the gym. This is actually, this yellow spot is existing grass, no pavement.
okay, I didn't know that.
There's like a little, I think there might be like a dumpster back there, but I think it's actually further back near the calf.
Right.
And so on the like map, this is South Street. And so like here, where the yellow spot is kind of where this photograph is. And so it's kind of that really tucked like back behind the school. So the little parking lot area ends right before the yellow. And so I don't know, like, we might not be, I don't know how close you can go to the school. So I don't know if I should go to like a town official or just straight to the superintendent to say, hey, we've reached out to some committees in town and we're talking about this, and we've been told to come to the superintendent for permission to use this space.
Josh, I have a quick question.
next step?
I have a quick question, Josh.
Yep.
Would the town, recreation department, be willing to talk to Sherry about what the requirements would be, how close it could be to the building? No, not promising any money or that kind of support, but letting you know what
Mhm.
it would have to be from, standards of how far from the parking lot, how far from the building itself. Does it need accessibility from, I can't tell from the picture of the school, but is there a doorway entrance to the back there that would lead out to the playground? All the different things that might be important when planning something like this. Would they talk to her about that or?
No, I don't think Parks and Rec is where we want to start.
Okay,
Just because I think that the school has their
School
own
committee.
maintenance that takes care of the parks that Parks and Rec wouldn't have any responsibilities in. And also just to kind of give you guys just an understanding in some of the projects that we're working on. So there are some multi-use fields that are being considered. And one of the issues that we're kind of running into with CPC funding is there's a certain restriction that has to go on CPC funding. I believe it's chapter 97. So the problem with that is the school might not want to sign off on something like this because of the restrictions of CPC funding. So essentially, if you receive the CPC funding and they, install this park, and then later on the school decides that they want to, they need to use it to expand the school or do something else with, and they have to tear down the park. The CPC restriction would then say you need to place it somewhere else or somewhere along those lines. So if that's in place and they need to expand the school, but then they can't relocate the park because they have no more land, they run into that issue. So that's why I think it's probably best to start at the school. They'll have a better understanding of what their capabilities are as far as their maintenance capabilities, if they could adhere to any restrictions that were put in place by using CPC funding. And then we can, work it out if we needed to have anybody from town to come check to make sure that that a playground could be that close to the school or anything like that. So they have they essentially have their own resources that that having that's why we want that letter of support from the school first.
Yeah.
And they'll probably have questions themselves that we can get over to the CPC to see if they can have answered before submitting any applications or eligibility. Did that make sense?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions from anyone on the Disability Commission? Okay, well, I guess in summation from the Disability Commission, Sherry, I would say we're here for your project. I would think for a recommendation standpoint as you go forward. And, as if you get more involved with this project, we would certainly like to send more help with more support, but there's a lot to be done in the meantime, it looks like.
Yeah, and if you need any clarification or you need to be connected with the CPC officers or disability, feel free to reach out to me and I can kind of route you in the right direction.
Okay. And then I guess if you had any recommendations on like in working with the CPC, like, is there like a budget scope we should like, I guess, is there like an amount that's kind of typical of awards or funded projects, or is it kind of get quotes
Nope.
from
Nope,
companies?
shoot for the stars with them.
Okay.
Put down what you guys want to do. They'll, I mean, they're going to review everything. And like I said, there's certain things that can and can't be covered by CPC funding. So a lot of times when you submit the eligibility form, you're going to put that amount, you're going to put what you're looking at. They'll review everything and then come back to you and say, well, this can be on there, this can't. And then we'll then start work on the application process.
Okay.
Well,
And-
thank you for being with us.
I don't know if I can fill Elizabeth in, but I want to say Elizabeth is here and my partner in this process.
Hi. So
Hi,
Hi,
I
Elizabeth.
hi. I heard the tail end of everything. I know
Yeah.
I'm sure Sherry filled you in on kind of the purpose behind this, recognizing the ADA issues, the 504 issues that come into play when it comes to, Bridgewater houses the severe and moderate subseparate disabilities classrooms. So they don't have equal access to recess as their typical peers do. So this is a big need. Obviously, with the issues with the school district and the budget, this was the best way to go about trying to fill that need and avoid any compliance issues. Because if push comes to shove, if somebody really wants to create a problem with the district, they have every right to stand on
Mhm.
this issue.
Mm.
Hoping to kind of solve a problem utilizing funds that are accessible, as long as we're able to get everything in line.
Mhm.
Any other questions for Elizabeth or Sherry?
No, thank you
Okay.
for being here. We
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you very much. I appreciate you getting involved with us in regard to, and we wish you the best of luck in this project.
Yes, for
Yeah.
certain.
Thanks for inviting us
Thank
to your
you.
meeting.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. So I think Lorraine, you made a very good point earlier, and on the agenda, I had written after this part of the meeting, what are your thoughts? What are the thoughts of the Disability Commission getting involved in this project? And as of right now, if it gets to that point, my feeling is, like Lorraine mentioned, a recommendation from us supporting this project. 'Cause it is good work, but that's where I think we stand as of right now. Any other comments?
Mhm.
Is there any disagreement with that? I think it would be certainly a great project.
Would be.
Mhm.
Good. Well, thank you, everyone. For old news, and it seems really, really old now, the Stone Meadow presentation was held on September 3rd. Usually we talk about, the old news the next month, but we missed last month. The presentation I thought was a great success. Disability Commission was able to state their mission statement and report on the work accomplished over the last several years.
Mhm.
Stone Meadow provided a really large and seemingly interested audience, which was great.
Yes. Mhm.
There was a great, there was definitely a great deal of excitement over the free $5 Dunkin' Donut gift card. And to be honest, I didn't think there would be that exciting, but I guess free gift cards are free gift cards, so it went over really well.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted to say thank you to all you guys for your efforts and the work that went into the presentation. Everyone was involved.
Yeah.
I think, it went off, like I said, very smoothly. And special thanks to Karen for hospitality shown afterwards. You got
Yes,
to see her
yes.
beautiful
Yep.
house.
Mhm.
And I think we should consider more similar events going forward. I
like
thought
that.
we were able to
Mhm.
get our message out there, and that was really good.
Mhm.
Any
Yep.
comments? Anything
It was
anyone else
definitely
like to bring?
it was definitely well received here. I got some good feedback from it. Even though there
nice.
were no questions that night, which I was kind of surprised, but they were all very quiet that night, but it was good. They all appreciated it.
And it's funny, Karen, because you got me all prepped. You told me a couple of things, they might bring up, and I was all prepped. I had paperwork all ready to go, and
Yep.
they didn't do it.
They didn't. I was shocked because I thought too that there was one issue they're still complaining about here. And I thought that it would come up and it didn't. So.
No, they were waiting for the raffle. No, it was,
I have
I
a
really
question,
enjoyed
Karen.
that.
What do
It
they
was good.
normally charge for the raffle tickets there?
I don't think they do them on a regular basis.
Oh, okay.
No, they
Oh,
just provide because they provided the refreshments, which
Oh,
we
okay.
usually do when we do a presentation. We decided to do a raffle ticket because I didn't want to have to bring food. Because that was
Yeah.
the idea.
Oh, that was a great
Good.
idea, Karen.
Yes, definitely.
Next
Yes.
thing I have on the agenda is Marathon Park.
Yeah.
All kids have the right to play together.
Mhm.
The information was presented to the Community Preservation Committee. This next step would be to follow through on reports required by the CPC. I need assistance if we're gonna go forward. Got bogged down in it. I thought, to me, it was confusing. I have a question for Josh, and I don't know if you can do this legally or not. Is it possible to reach out to a willing member of the CDC to assist in doing the paperwork, or is that considered a conflict of interest?
Nope, not a conflict at all. That's actually a really good idea. So I would recommend reaching out to Gina or Carlton. Just because they are the officers, the chair and vice chair. And I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you guys. They've assisted on several applications. They will be able to provide their experience and get you on the path to getting it submitted.
Great. And for the Disability Commission, I was thinking if it was possible, which now I find out it is, reaching out to Carlton because I do know him better than I know Gina. And he's reached out to me in regard to this project a couple of times already. So I feel like that would be a good working relationship. I think in talking to both Sherry and I just forgot Elizabeth real quickly today, it's kind of a similar project they're talking about with the school, but we're talking an already existing great playground. They really could just use a few more activities for children with special disability and also the rubberized surface. And I think, we don't need to look for the land. We don't need to look for any of the concerning issues that, doing it near the school without a lot of background would be. So I'd like to definitely reach out to Carlton and see what we can get accomplished, but before the next meeting.
David?
Yes, Lorraine.
Yes, I did go over I did go on their website several times and I did look at their application and all that. And I personally, I've never submitted, obviously, why would I submit an application of that nature? So I think having their guidance would really be very, very helpful because we want to be successful with it, but obviously we have no experience in it. So I think reaching out to them and kind of getting a sense of what we really need to, investigate or figure out or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot to it, so we want to get it right, you know? So I think that's a good idea, you know?
Good.
Like,
And you know, it's funny because I started doing it and I said, oh, this is not too bad. This is pretty easy. And then right in the very next section, I got bogged down. And then, you know, looking at it, it just was hard and confusing. And, you know,
Yeah.
maybe I'm not the brightest bulb, but I'll tell you, yeah.
David, as someone who helped put that together, it is a very convoluted application.
it
So
is,
Oh, good.
yeah,
Thank you.
yes,
we're actually working on a rewrite of it. So
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
there's a lot to it, but no, Gina and Carlton are both very passionate and they know the application
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
eligibility form very well. So they'd be more than happy to. I don't mean to speak for them, but they'll
yeah.
jump at the opportunity.
Well,
And
thank you
David,
very much.
I know Gina very well, so
Oh,
I can
good.
even ask her also too. You know, the only part that I found was easy was the letters of support, which I did submit one time on behalf of the, I think it was the church, they were doing windows or whatever. That part was probably the easiest part is letters of support, you know, from various groups, but you know, they need estimates, they want this and that, you have to have figures. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to that, so.
It definitely is.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Good. Does anyone else have any comments or anything they want to bring up in regard to that? Okay, well, moving right on. New news. Disability Commission members are urged to submit one item for each month's agenda 2 weeks prior to the meeting. Submitted item could be an action item for the commission, a direction we want to follow, an issue affecting the town, or a selected item of each member's choosing. It is important that each member be part of the agenda process each month. I would like to see many of our suggested items be handled immediately by the commission. We discussed in the past concerns about parking at the Academy building for residents utilizing the building. And again, many employees still appear to be using the parking lot for work parking. This week, which actually was last week, I had a question about the Bridgewater Community Choice Power Supply Program. I got a postcard in the mail
Yeah,
and I was trying to figure it out. So I went down there. I was going to speak to someone at the Academy building, and there wasn't any parking spots at all. And so then I decided I'll go back a different day. But I really think the town residents that want to utilize the Academy building should be first on the usage list for the parking over there. So I would like to draft a letter to the new town manager and, you know, just discuss that should be available parking for people wanting to visit the Academy building and then leave, not permanent day parking over there. Any comments, Karen?
Yeah, Dave, yeah, I agree, David. I went in last week for something and there was no parking. I went around 2 times and I ended up parking where the electrical vehicles were supposed to park, you know?
Right.
So I was in 15 minutes and if they wanted to come looking for me, that was okay, but there was no place else to park.
yeah, yeah,
And actually, that's another interesting point because
That they're taking over where the handicap should be right at the ramp for
Right.
electric vehicles.
yeah, and
Yeah.
such a
I
tiny
don't
little
agree with it.
parking spot, that's taking, what is it, 3 spots for the electric vehicle? So you're utilizing 3 spots, and I know it would be expensive to move it. But however, 3 spots of a tiny little parking lot.
Yeah.
So
I don't agree with it.
anyone else comments, questions? So what I would like to do, I could format a letter, send it out to you guys just for
Yeah.
everyone's approval, and then we'll submit it. Is there anything else I should know in regard to that, Josh, or do you agree, disagree?
No, I think that's a good place to start. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else we'd want to bring in on it. Yeah, just send it over to me and we'll get it to the right place.
Okay, appreciate it.
David,
Yes,
can we jump back to the item number 1 under new news as far as submitting one
Yes.
item for each month's agenda 2 weeks prior?
yeah,
Okay, so I have several thoughts on this, and you know, I have made some connections. There was actually a domestic violence walk that was over at the old high school over the weekend, Saturday, and I made some connections with some of the groups or whatever. So my question is, and I've done it in the past with you before, so I'll make the connection with who I think might maybe want to present or could be a
Right.
possibility. And then what would I do? Would I just, I guess my question is, you're saying it for the month's meeting. We have to figure out if they would be available and this and that. What would I say to you? Just say, can we put them on the agenda for someone's
Well,
month
You
or
could even probably
what are
put
you
them on the
thinking?
agenda for the next meeting, but 2 weeks, because there would only be 2 weeks prior at that
Yeah,
point.
that's what I mean. It might be, yeah.
But if you put it to agenda and say, I would like to have this person speak at an upcoming meeting.
Oh, in the future. Oh, okay.
So
I
then
mistook
you
what
would-
you. I thought you meant you needed, we only had 2 weeks to figure out.
No,
somebody for-
I
oh,
just
I'm
so
like,
that I
I
could
don't
add
think I
it
can
to
do
the
that.
agenda. You might have, passionate that you want to have such and
Yeah.
such a speaker in next month or the month after, whatever.
Right.
So then I could have it on the agenda. We could all
Yes.
discuss and say it's a great idea, not a great idea,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm sure it'd be a great idea. But that's
I do
that's
have
what I'm saying.
a lot of ideas for potential speakers. And then I also had another thought. What
Okay.
I would love to see on the agenda is I'd like to either spotlight, an individual, spotlight a business, or put a good news item on the agenda to talk about. Everything's always so negative with
Mhm.
everything in life today. And I just thought it would be nice to add like an agenda item about something good that's happened or spotlight an individual or, pertaining to obviously disabilities or whatever, something that we see. I just thought that might be a nice thing. I don't know what everybody else's thoughts are, but it would just be an item on the agenda. If anyone comes up with something, they wanted to add or whatever. I mean, maybe you don't want to do it. Maybe you just want to throw it into comments. I don't know. I just always thought like spotlighting something positive or good news about something that happened or whatever or something.
We could
My
come up
point,
with that.
Huh?
Go on.
no, I was going to say, I thought about this because Boundless Bean, Karen, you know this because you were, Samaquin actually had a resource table at that domestic violence walk that was sponsored by the DA's office and, community services, whatever, family and community services. There were a lot of different groups that participated Saturday.
Mhm.
And we were right next to Boundless Bean. And as you know, they have, individuals that have disabilities that they employ or whatever. And it's just it's wonderful just seeing how they operate. So I asked them about it. I said, oh, we'd love to listen to what your business model is and how you do this. And it's just I think they even were in the paper one time or something, Boundless Bean, and all the
They
great
were.
work that they do. So I was thinking it was just nice watching them in operation. And to me, that was like a good news, like a feel good type thing, And I'm thinking there's a lot of that going on, and we always hear everything's negative all the time about everything. And it just would be nice if each one of us, maybe here and there, if they see something they wanted to add or something. I don't know, maybe you just want to throw it on as comments, but Boundless Bean, they are one that I might maybe see if they do have some time if they were able to at a future meeting to actually jump on board our Zoom and talk about, how they do this. And I also spoke to she was actually the one that was assisting with the individual who had a disability. And I believe she was through BSU, Bridgewater State University, through the Excel program, she said. And she ran that, she was the director, whatever. And I was talking to her. So there's just a lot of good things that have been going on and happening, It's just a thought,
I think it's a wonderful idea, Lorraine. I think we could certainly add the positive, we could have a better title, but positive item of the month type thing. And I think she'd be a great speaker. There's a couple that own their restaurant, and I think she would be a great speaker to tell us about their plan, because
Yes. Yep.
I've gone there again recently last week.
Yeah.
And they work one-on-one with their employees with, or associates with disabilities. I mean,
Mhm.
when they're bringing up a register or, you know, taking out a pastry, they're always right there with
Yes.
that individual. And she actually just posted last week, they really were struggling over there because everything's blocked off, the sidewalk and everything. And she reached out, they, they feel like they're at death's door business wise. Well, kind of what you said, the nice story of the week. In the meantime, she posted on Facebook, and literally hundreds of people went in, bought out everything. And
Yeah.
it's a really nice community story. The
Yes.
other thing,
Yes.
they
Yep.
have a truck that's been at the East Bridgewater Y a lot lately, and they're gonna have a truck Monday through Friday in the back parking lot over there.
Oh,
And when
wow.
they come, they brought one of their associates with disability to work with somebody else. So they're really bringing them into the community also. So
Yes.
I guarantee they would be a wonderful speaker for us if you
Yep.
want to reach out for maybe
I
even
will.
that one, since we've already identified it, that would be great for the next meeting.
Yep, I would like to move forward with that. I can try to make that connection for maybe even November. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is I would like to, I really enjoy, and they really enjoy our community outreach over at senior housing. They really enjoyed the bingo time that we did, and we did our little presentation. So I was thinking about maybe setting something up in the spring, if the commission would like to do that, to do some kind of a bingo get together or something with our friends over at senior housing. Cause it's
Yeah,
been
I
a
would
little,
like that. And maybe this time, almost give them like, not homework or something, but maybe when we're talking about, have them come with like a list or some ideas of things we could do that help them to better their lives in the community.
yes,
We don't
yes,
really
we could.
do
Yeah.
that, so that could be a different approach also.
Yeah, so that's something that I think I would like to, if the commission is in agreement, I'd like to think ahead and maybe try to start getting dates for the spring or something to plan another community outreach event, over at the
I think
senior
that's a great idea.
authority,
What about anyone else? Any other comments?
I think it's a great idea. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Good. Well, thank you. Some really good ideas here, Lorraine.
Okay.
I checked with with Maddie at the senior center about the hearing and hard of hearing program that I had worked on.
Right.
The gentleman that's coming, Jonathan, is out of the country right now, but she couldn't
Okay.
post a date, but it's definitely going to be in March.
Oh,
So
good.
as soon as I get the date, I'm going to give it to all of you so that we can try to coordinate our schedules so that we can attend that.
Oh,
Good.
yeah,
Oh, good. Oh, thank you, Steph. That's great.
yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. The next thing I had put down was guest speaker for November suggestions, but right now we have a great suggestion of Boundless Bean possibly, so that will be good.
Yep.
My next thing on the agenda, I had put down about Mass Office and Disability. I always get newsletters. They have many monthly programs and informational series that could prove of value. You can contact MOD, ask a question online. I have the phone number on the agenda, and then mass.gov/MOD. So there's a multi ways to get hold of them. And I don't know how I did this. I'm looking at the next one. I think I'm going backwards. Date of next meeting, September 30th. So I must have looked at something else, but it's obviously November. And if I remember correctly, was it right next to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it's the
That
Tuesday.
that is, yeah.
Thanksgiving week, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
So
Yeah,
we want to talk about this. So hold on a sec. Let me look at my calendar.
Something like the 26th, the 25th.
it's the 25th.
It's 25th.
Yeah, and Thanksgiving's 2 days later. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here it is. So Thanksgiving is on,
27th.
27th.
Yeah,
okay,
I know.
and we would be having the meeting on what, the 24th?
5.
25th.
25th.
Monday,
Yeah, the
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So is that a problem for people? Probably, is it?
Well, I'd
Well-
rather do November meeting before Thanksgiving rather than the December
Chris-
meeting before
yeah.
Christmas.
Yes,
gonna
So,
skip
I mean,
one.
to me, it wouldn't be a
Let's change
problem
one.
if we could take a consensus right now for Tuesday, the 25th. Is anyone not gonna be available?
It's just really busy. How does everyone feel about maybe the week before, Tuesday, the 18th?
I could do that.
I have triad.
Oh,
That's a triad
okay.
date.
oh,
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think I'm busy on the 18th.
yeah, that's
pretty
a
sure.
triad date.
So we're going in the wrong direction here. So
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah,
I think what we could probably do is whoever can attend, as long as we have a quorum, we
Well, we
could
definitely
just have
need to have at least 3 people.
Right,
Okay.
if we have 3 and we could just do a very, kind of a short meeting too. I was just thinking about Boundless Bean. I think that would be a tough time for them
Yeah.
to present. So that would be, another time or whatever, but I would say just a shorter meeting, whoever
So-
can
so
make it
let's-
if, yeah,
So I'm available that day. Lorraine, you're
Yeah,
saying you're
I am.
available.
I think I
Yeah.
can do the 25th.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 3.
yeah.
Karen and.
I have, yeah, I have a physical therapy, but I can change it. Yeah, I can do it. Even if I
Okay,
come in 15 minutes later, I can do it.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking if we could, like
25th.
Gloria mentioned, well, all of you mentioned, I mean, definitely December would be very difficult. I wouldn't be able to do, it would be tough. 'Cause
So
it
we'll
is a-
talk next month about
Yeah.
December, and come up with a
Right,
range.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're scheduled for November, what did we say, 25th
25th.
25th, yep,
at the usual 2 o'clock on Zoom.
yeah.
And that's all I got. So I guess I would leave questions, anything anyone else would like to bring up? Hopefully
Oh.
everyone's. Go on.
There's a sign that I wanted to ask about at the Academy building.
I'm
when
sorry,
you-
the last thing? Sign at,
There's a sign that
Yeah.
at the Academy building.
oh, okay.
When you park at the handicap spaces, where there are only 2 that there are there, has anybody ever noticed that sign that says to go around to the front if you're parking? Karen, have you noticed that sign?
I think there is. I think it says, it's confusing. I think it says accessible entrance and it
Mhm.
points to the right,
But it points to the right, to the
Right.
front,
as if you
but
were
it
going to
makes
go
no
around.
sense because the
The
ramp
ramp is right there.
is in the back.
Right.
Yeah, it's
And I don't
confusing.
understand why they have that sign. Josh, why
Yeah.
do they have the sign pointing to the front?
Because there's accessibility in the front as well.
Well, why would they
Well,
do
there's a
that?
ramp
Because
there.
the ramp is there, the handicap button is there, and the elevator, when you go in, is straight through
Mhm.
and right to there. You would go through the 2 doors and you'd be right there.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Because I mean, you'd have to probably go on the grass because you're talking about
Hmm.
the small parking lot on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think you'd have to go
that's
on the
the only
grass to go to the
parking
front.
lot. And there are only
Um,
2 spaces, so you're parking right there by the ramp.
Yeah, that's a good question.
It's
Yeah.
'Cause I
never
mean,
made sense to me.
there is accessibility on it for the front and the back there. Both have buttons and everything.
Yep.
The one thing I will say is the front is actually it has double doors, so it's a little bit easier to get through. So that
Make
could
that-
be what it's referencing, but
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Oh, good
aren't there
question.
steps to walk up?
there are steps, but there's a ramp too.
There is a ramp there?
Yes, yeah, both
Mhm.
entrances have ramps.
Okay. Just seems further to walk.
Oh, it is.
Well, no, that's, I go through the site all the time, Estelle, and it does that, just like Josh says, get the push button. Actually, we had bought for that a long time ago, and you can easily get through there.
Mm.
I didn't notice the sign, but I'll have to look for that too. Lorraine, I see you raising your hand.
Yes, a couple of quick comments. I was able to actually, I don't know where we're at with that self-eval. Remember we were doing a self-eval process, the ADA self-eval with that company. I don't know where we're at with that. If Josh knows, remember they presented with us. They, I don't even recall their name, but they were going to be developing a whole self-eval plan with ADA. Do you remember they presented a couple months ago? And they were going to be piecing that together. I was wondering where that was at. I had an opportunity to take a look at East Bridgewater, town of East Bridgewater, and what a lengthy major ADA self-evaluation plan that they developed. I forget how many pages it was, but I went down to the part about like emergency preparedness, which that's always an interest for me or whatever, probably through my work with Triad. And they just had developed such a protocol with those that are disabled in the event of any type of a disastrous event or whatever it might be. So getting back to Saturday's walk, which was, I really enjoyed it because, I was able to meet a lot of people or whatever. I did talk to somebody on our CERT team, the community, I don't know emergency readiness response team. And then I asked them, I said, well, what is the protocol in the event of some of these weather related or whatever it might be, emergency situations in town? Because obviously if you read East Bridgewater and their preparedness and all that, there's a lot of planning when you're dealing with obviously disabled and in so many different ways and whatever. And he goes, oh, that's a good question. I'm really not sure. So I think
That's scary.
that would be an agenda item for some time too. I'd like to bring them on, the CERT team, and find out from that perspective, where are they at on that? Are we prepared, to help the disabled, with whatever might come up in the future in this town? I really would like
Do
to.
we have an emergency
know?
response team in Bridgewater?
Yes, it's been active for a long, long time. Yep.
In Bridgewater, we have that.
It's called CERT, CERT.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay.
Yep, CERT. Yes. So that will be, I would like to see that as an agenda item. I'd like to see where we're at with that, So.
And I asked, when Emily was still there about, when that report was going to come out, and there was no date.
Yeah.
Josh, do they ever give us a date on that?
No, I do apologize. I haven't been updated on that. I'll have to get more information. I don't have anything right now. I mean, the last I had touched it was with when there was the presentation at your guys' meeting.
Yes, yeah, that was a little while ago. So
Yep, I will follow up on that and have an answer for you guys.
that would be great because I really want to know where we're at with that too. Because the document that East Bridgewater developed from that process, whoever they hired, I don't know who they hired, but it was incredible. If you get a chance, go on their town website, look under the ADA self-evaluation plan, and it is extensive, David. Extensive.
Actually, what made you think to do that to start with? I
was looking, I think I was looking at East Bridgewater's, I always look at other newsletters and what they're doing at other centers. I'm still, I like to be engaged in that, and then disability stuff and all that. So that popped up and I said, let me take a peek, and oh my God, it was amazing. They had everything down in like a science. It was incredible. Obviously they hired a company but they did a lot of surveys with the public. It was the whole process, probably what they're going to be doing for us in Bridgewater, but this was already completed. Take a look if you get a chance. It's amazing.
No, that's really interesting.
Yes.
Also, I think that could be something that could be very important for us to get behind, because you mentioned like the emergency readiness in regards to people with disabilities. And I mean, we have many, many people in Bridgewater. What if there isn't a natural emergency? Like right now when they're having that big hurricane that could destroy an island. But what we got a hurricane around here, and I actually have a couple of people on my disability, on my, not disability, on my Meals on Wheels route that
Mhm.
are really very, very housebound. Like,
Yeah.
what is the plans for the community for people like that, to get to safety? So I think that would be something that we should
Yeah,
really look
I'd,
into
I'd
getting
like to
more
work,
behind.
yeah, I'd like to really try to set that up. And I'm not saying this person said there wasn't one. I don't mean it that way.
Right,
They
no,
just
no.
weren't really sure, and I would like to know as a citizen, a resident, and I think we all would like to know, and especially being on this commission, we all really need that awareness.
So let me ask
Well,
you this. So you looked up and you looked up on East Bridgewater and you got
Yep,
this.
Town of East Bridgewater, and then,
The
So,
newsletter.
but if you were to look up under Bridgewater, would we see anything for our response? I know it isn't complete like theirs yet, because we didn't get the updated ADA self-evaluation.
I don't
But do
think
we
we
have
would.
an emergency readiness plan in place now for people with disabilities or anything else?
I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons why they lowered the sink in the senior center.
I saw
Mhm.
that.
Because
heard that
now all of
was-
a
yep.
sudden it's in compliance with
Yes.
Yes.
people who are in wheelchairs. I wonder
Yeah.
if they've gotten a preliminary report.
Well, I know he did say that they were going to, I don't know, 5 or 6 or 10 different buildings or whatever. And if you do look at East Bridgewater, they did go to the senior center and there were some things that they did have to provide a remedy to, and they had a certain time frame that they had to, complete it in or whatever. And that could be a reason too, Estelle. For
Yeah,
our,
I'm wondering.
yeah,
But I think this would be a good thing well, depending on time for the next meeting, depending if we have the Better Beans spokesperson speak to us, what kind of time frame, but that would be something definitely important to bring up as we go forward. I think that's great.
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Any other comments or anything else to bring up in regard to that? Any other comments or anything else anyone would like to bring up? Okay, so the next meeting is the 25th. I think this was a really good
Yeah.
meeting. I thank everyone for their participation. And as usual, Josh, you're always a wealth of knowledge.
I
Thank you.
know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let it go.
Thank you,
Thank you, Josh.
Yep.
And that's all I have. So I need a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Estelle.
I'll second it.
Thank
Gloria
you, Gloria.
seconds.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Meeting is adjourned. I appreciate all your time and thank you.
sounds
Right,
good.
well-
Take care, everybody.
Stay
Bye.
well.
And-
See ya. Yep.